Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I've got a beautiful Christmas card for you, and it's a shaker card. Can you see that dome? Hopefully, let's see if I hold it like that, you guys can see it. It's a shaker dome, and this is the Pine Tree Trimmings Bundle, which is a great stamp set. I actually have two other projects without the dome, so you can use it of course, with the dome that we're going to use, but you can also use it without the dome. The shaker domes look like this. So if you order the Pine Tree Trimmings bundle, make sure you get the domes too. Stampin' Up! Has had lots of shaped domes in the past. They make creating shaker cards really, really easy and fun. It makes for a fun kind of a surprise card, I think, when you give that to somebody. All right, so let's get started. I am also using the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper. This has been out of stock for a while, but it's due back soon. So starting, it says the week of the 17th, but I always start checking the week before because I think they like to tell us further out than normal so that we'll be pleasantly surprised when it comes back in stock. Of course, I don't know, but that's my guess. So got a piece of my favorite, the plaid. It's gold specialty paper, but I love the patterns on the back, I think even more than the gold foil pieces. All right, so real red card base, and we've got that. Now, I'm also gonna use this new Whispers of Texture paper, and I feel like this is a sleeper. Just amazing product. It is an online exclusive, and I think you guys can see it the way I'm holding it in the camera. It is a textured 12 by 12 paper. Different textures come in the pack, and it is gorgeous. So I recommend you adding this to your next order. There will be a supply list with all of this on it on my blog. So make sure you click the link here on YouTube to go over and grab that if you're looking for that paper. You're not going to see it in a catalog. It's an online exclusive. Now we're going to use Secret C, and I'm going to tie a Secret C ribbon around this piece. But to make it easier, what I'm going to do is lay the ribbon right here before I attach this like that. Make sure I get it centered. Okay, and then that way it holds it down while I'm trying to tie it. It won't be so difficult. This is actually a remnant piece. I've got this long remnant piece that I need to use, so we're going to use it. Nothing goes to waste. All right, now tie it. This is the Secret C. Oh, I can't remember the name. Woven ribbon, maybe. The end color ribbons are some of my very favorite ribbons. They're kind of stiff, and they have kind of a texture like canvas, and I like them. All right, now this card's gonna need some extra postage if you're shipping it, so right away just from the dome. So, don't worry about all the other big things like dimensionals and bows, because that dome is going to be big enough as it is, and these things won't matter. All right, let's get that nice and centered. Pull that down just a bit like that. Get that bow as far left as you can go. Okay, now to create our dome, you're going to need two of our everyday arches cut from Secret C, and we're going to stamp this image, the stars, in Versamark and emboss it in gold embossing powder. And then what we're going to do is take the die, this one right here, and we're going to cut it out of the second arch, and we're going to put that on there. We're going to sandwich that dome in between there. Now, to make sure that your tree is centered in there perfectly where you cut it, I'm going to show you a trick, okay? We're actually going to cut the tree out of the top one first and use that as our template. I'm looking, do I have Post-it tape? I do. It's behind my computer over here. Let me see if I can reach it. We're going to use that, sorry for the reach. We're going to use that as our template for our stamping. So get it nice and centered on one of your arches. And then run that through, okay? Now, we're going to take out this negative right here. That's what this is called. Save it, because we're going to use it on the inside. I mean, you could throw it away, but why not? Why not save it and use it? All right, so now we're going to actually do our stamping on the other one. And because we're using embossing powder, I'm going to really just add in some of my embossing buddy to remove any static that might be there. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it down on top using that as my template for where I'm going to stamp so that I know that my dome will be perfectly placed for the top. All right, stamp that in the hole there. Okay, and then we're going to take that off. Bring this one over. We've got gold embossing powder. This is the embossing additions kit that comes with the embossing buddy, the tray, the reverse tweezers. Now I've also got a banner that I've cut with the traditional label dies, and we're gonna stamp, I'm just making a mess here. We're gonna stamp, what did I do with my Versamark? Right here, Oh Christmas Tree. Now, Oh Christmas Tree isn't necessarily curved for this banner, but it actually works, okay? It works perfectly. A little more gold, embossing powder. You wanna make sure you got all your stragglers off. If you don't, I can see one little straggler right there and a little just kind of random tiny flakes over here. All right, brush that off with your paintbrush. Then for something small like this, you don't wanna burn your fingers. So get your reverse tweezers like this. Turn on your heat tool. And I'm doing it, I need a switch hand. I need this in my right hand. And then we're gonna heat it. You'll see it turn kind of almost like liquid gold and then turn shiny. And that's how you know it's done. Okay, and then we're gonna get this one. I think I can hold this with my fingers. And watch how this just lights up on that dark cardstock. Isn't that beautiful? There we go. Perfect. Make sure you get it all. If you stop and you see like a little dull area, which I saw right there, heat it again because you haven't gotten it activated all the way. Okay, now here comes the tricky part. You're gonna get your dome. Let's go ahead and peel off that backing. I'm gonna take these are the gold shaker stars, and I'm gonna put them, trying to keep them really in the image. All right, and just don't put too many, because if you put too many, then they don't really shake around that well. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous. I'm gonna lay it right on top like that. There we go, perfect. Okay, now that's kind of ugly, right? That's why we make the one to go on top like that. All right, so now take your pick tool, right? How come I lose these things? Guys, literally it's a 3-foot desk. I don't know. It's gone. I'm gonna use my scissors. And I am just gonna add a little bit of adhesive kind of up here, down here, just a little bit. And then we're gonna take that, I'm gonna lay that right on top. And now you've got your fun shaker, so fun. Okay, we're almost done. We're gonna take some dimensionals. I'm gonna put dimensionals down here, like this, and like that. And we're gonna stick that right there. I am gonna adhere this with Stamp and Seal Plus right across the top of the dome. And then last but not least, I've got iridescent foil. Okay, I need my take your pick tool, you guys. Where did it run off to? I've got my other one over here, but it's kind of gunky. So pretend like you don't see how gunky it is. I like to try to use my nicest things for videos, but I mean, who am I kidding? I'm sure you've got gunky things in your craft space too. Oops, that one came off its adhesive. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so that's the front of your card. Really, can you see that? How fun that is. All right, now let's do the inside. I have got my, remember we left this. We're gonna stamp, or we're gonna adhere that here. I'm gonna do this a little bit different than I did my original inside. See if you can see that. But I think I'm gonna leave everything close this time to the tree. Put a star and a star there. And maybe we'll do another one down here. And then you're going to get your liquid glue. And I mean, make the tiniest dots you can make. I can already tell mine are probably too big. If you have the fine tip glue pen, that might work better. All right, so I'd like to put them in my lid and grab the big ones because there are some really, really tiny ones in here. So grab the bigger ones and just set them in that glue. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, because this is pretty wet, I'm not going to glue it inside my card until it's totally dry, okay? So I'm not going to do that on the video, but you get the idea. It goes right on the inside. And there you go, a fun special shaker card for Christmas. Now, make sure you click the link here on YouTube, grab that free PDF, supply list, measurements, and check out the other 2 projects that I have using the same bundle. Thanks, everybody, and Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.